That stuff is
Yes! Showtime! Woo! 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 Styling and profiling. Woo! It's live and in color. Woo! Woo! Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy, and joining me is my man, Mr. Mikey, also known as the Apex Man. It feels good to win 2 in a row, Mikey. We're back. We have a winning streak going, and it didn't start off great, but ended
fantastic.
Really sweet. Matter of fact, it ended too sweet. Man, yeah, it was. I gotta say, the first half was super frustrating. Super frustrating. We were texting back and forth like
we had 90 yards at halftime.
It was a brutal start.
5 on third downs.
It was a brutal start. But let's just start this conversation with saying Keon Coleman had himself a game. And Mikey, I gotta say, that Cooper trade already is showing why that was needed, and it's already showing proof that having a player like that can impact an offense, including the players around him. And Keon Coleman just had his best game, and there's no surprise that
no, absolutely not.
Yeah,
we had a 100-yard receiver today.
Finally, our first of the season.
Josh went for 300 today.
Yeah, and I think Cooper had almost 70 yards, 67, which is our second
Coleman
most.
Doesn't trip himself. He takes that to the house.
I think so too. Yeah, he just got caught up.
Yeah,
he stumbled, and then it was too late by them to really. Yep. Yeah, they gained on him by that, but I do believe he takes it to the house.
Absolutely. I'm going through our chat, looking at some
stuff.
Yeah,
let's get to it. People are excited.
Matt comes in and says, well, that second half was something else. Not much threat from the rest of our division. Plenty of times to get the gears roll in sync. Here's my only concern, and I'm going to get the concern out, and then it's going to be all flowers.
Yeah, let's do it.
We started slow again.
Down 10-0.
Good teams like the Ravens or the Chiefs or the Texans or whoever. You can't just take a half off. We have to find a way to get going quicker. We did it last week against the Jets. We came out and ran the ball, and we got it quick. Today, we struggled getting going. However, Tennessee has a good defense, and we shot ourselves in the foot in the first half. We'd get something going, and then we'd get a penalty.
Yeah, it was a sloppy first half on offense, a little sloppy on defense as well. Mason Rudolph looking like Dan Marino out there for the first half. I think once again though, if you saw the second half, Mikey, or even really towards the end of the first half, we started to bring a little bit more pressure, a little bit more exotic looks thrown at Rudolph, and that's where he was making the mistakes. Fumbled the ball. That's where he started overthrowing people. But by giving when you give any quarterback time, they're going to tear you up. I don't care who you have back there. So I thought the second half we really dialed it up, and he just had no answer versus this defense once the pressure started coming at all different sides. And he just was overthrowing, underthrowing, making poor decisions. By the way, I think they pulled D-Hop because I think there's a trade. I think he got traded or they're in talks with somebody. That was really odd. I think something happened. And even the announcers mentioned it. I don't know if you caught that.
Because he never came back, right?
No, never came back. And the announcers were like, usually that means something. Usually that means the coach pulled him for a reason. Like, I don't know if I don't think it was a disagreement or something. I think something's going on there, and they probably have him on the block. Or they're in talks with the team. So just a heads up, I think he is being traded. With that,
I just hope he doesn't go to Kansas City. That's all I hope.
I know. God damn, dude. Right, exactly. But
Cato
go ahead.
Comes in and says, if I don't see Dwayne Carter on the field more, I'm going to lose my shit. Dwayne Carter has been week after week getting better and better and better.
He's a solid player. We knew that coming when he came out of college. That's why I was excited that we got him. He was like a pro, kind of like he was in college for like 5 years. Like he was there forever. And he was always a team
four-year captain.
4-year captain, 5 year
4-year captain.
Only for so he's like a veteran coming in to any NFL almost. So
if he would have come out the year before, he probably would have been a late first, high second round pick. He stayed the extra year. And ended up dropping around.
Yeah.
We had a 300-yard QB today. We did.
Finally, goodness
this wide receivers corp looks way better. Just one. It didn't in the first half. The second half, it was shit started to change. Well, Amari wasn't on the field in the first half very much.
Yeah, I gotta say, and listen, I could be wrong because I know he was like the hamstring thing. They mentioned it. Maybe something's going on there. Let's hope, knock on wood, that it's nothing, that's going to be lingering. But I think that was more on the first. He was in there right away, dropped the ball, which he should have made. Okay. And once again, like McDermott, it seems to me that he pulled him because of the drop. And you can't do that. Like, you can't, bro. This guy's a professional. He's not a college player. Mm-hmm. You're not benching him because he made a mistake and dropped the pass. Like, McDermott does that way too often.
Not only
matter
that.
of fact, can we start off
with this comment right here?
I was just about to tell you. Yeah.
How the hell do you mess up a coin toss?
Right.
You don't win a coin toss and take the ball. You don't do it.
I agree. Like, it started clunky right away with McDermott. Like, that's the kind of
stupid shit like that, though.
And it makes no sense. And it wasn't because he wanted to see what Cooper had right away and excite the fans. Okay. But then why'd you bench him right after?
I don't know if he was truly benched, but that's a McDermott thing to do.
It's a McDermott thing to do.
But he doesn't do it to his defense. He only does it to offense.
And he sure was in there the second half, way more than he was the first half.
And that could have been adjustments at halftime on how to get him.
It could have. I
don't want to just assume he was being.
But he does that a lot.
Veterans
he doesn't
normally do it to veterans.
That's true. You're right. I don't know. I just figured he'd be in there way more.
It was odd.
I don't know.
It could have been the hamstring thing they were trying to get it loose. Like, there's a lot of things that could have been. Either way, I don't trust McDermott. That's my problem.
No,
I don't trust him.
No, it's a terrible. Always.
McDermott should never get a game ball. Seriously,
Yeah.
Why receive? I don't get it. You win, you kick off.
And I'm sure they're going to ask him about that. He'll have some bullshit excuse on why.
I want to show faith in my offense and get them in a rhythm early, is what he's going to say.
Right. Wow.
It
did the opposite. Right. Like, how about getting us good field position to start with our offense? By getting a 3 and out and then forcing them to punt. And then we have good field position. Maybe then you get the offense going that way instead of starting at your own 25, 30. Like, craziness, man. Like, this is dumb.
Hopkins, the Casey count on it. Oh, God, that makes me sad.
God. Yeah.
Gregor's so clearless listening to all the podcasts this week. It's an absolute terror today. Listen, our defensive line took that game over.
They did.
The first quarter, they struggled. About midway through the second quarter, they found their footing, and man, they became menaces.
Yeah. It was a second half, man.
Man, I felt bad for Rudolph. He just got peppered back there. We had like what? How many hits did we have? QB hits. We had crap. I think we had something like 12 QB hits today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The second half had, like, this season has been the story of this Bills defense. Mm-hmm. The first half, they have not been impressive. They've been okay at best. Like, the second half is where this defense tends to turn it up. I do say, I got to say, though, losing Bernard again, possibly to an ankle injury. Remember last year, ankle injury.
The difference is we have depth this year than we didn't have last year.
I get it, but I'm not trusting what's his name for too long. Let's hope it's not a long injury. Because listen, I like Spector, but you saw when Spector
and you know what? We lost Samuel first series of the game.
Oh, yeah. There you go, folks. That's why I keep saying Samuel is hurt, guys. Like, When is enough?
It was a shoulder.
No, I know, but in general, it don't matter. Put that dude on IR. Let that dude sit and get healthy with it, because clearly his whole body's fucked up at this point. And call up Hamler. We need a guy like that can as a deep threat. By the way, we have no deep threat. And Hamler can be that. He is that fast. Mm-hmm. We need a gadget guy, especially if Curtis Samuel can't be healthy or can't stay on the field right now. Like, I'm just saying, call that guy. I'm not saying he's going to make a world of difference, but better than what we got.
Yeah, Rousseau technically only had a half a sack, but dude, he was a menace today.
He was
hitting
all
that
over.
Dude.
Yeah,
pressuring that dude. Like I thought
Epinesa was putting good pressure today too.
Yep. So was Smoot.
Yeah.
Have you noticed Smoot starting over Epinesa right now? I like that. Where they're bringing Epinesa off the bench now.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I missed that. Okay.
So Epinesa is the pass rusher in the second wave.
So maybe what I said that a couple shows ago. I'm like,
yeah.
I thought he did better last year as a rotational guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so maybe McDermott sees that as well. And maybe that's why he made that decision, which seems to be a smart one.
Oh, listen, Shakir, for someone who's nursing an ankle injury, he put that linebacker on ice, man.
Dude. He's
like that linebacker had no idea where he was going, and then he ended up getting like 19 yards on it. It was
and he's not even 100%. He's not even close to it.
Yeah,
I love Shakir, man. Like that
Shakir
dude. That he is that
65. Guy. You want to pull up the stats? Let's just run through the stats.
Yeah, I got you. Let me. You want me to move that up a little bit, or you can see it?
I don't see anything right now. Okay, there we go.
Okay,
right there.
So let me go.
So Allen was 21 of 33, and really most of those were incompletes in the first half. He was on fire in the second half.
Yeah, the first half was ugly. Yeah.
323, 2 touchdowns, no picks again, no turnovers.
No picks. That's seven games. Yep.
And then the two games into last year, the 2 playoff games, he had none.
Yeah.
That's 9 straight games. Ray Davis, 5 for 41. I actually thought he was better than Cook today.
He absolutely was. And that is when I'm talking about running between the tackles.
Mm-hmm.
He does it way better, folks. I know you guys, some of you guys love James Cook, but you guys see you see right here. Ray Davis can shed off tackles. He moves forward. He's way better in between the tackle runner, especially against that D line. I mean, that is good numbers. You saw what he did there at the end. He just bullied him down, and then got a great block, by the way, by Matt Collins. But Ray Davis, man, I'm telling you.
Yep, and we'll get to Dorian, Robert. Give me a second. We are way behind in chats, so I'll catch up after going through this.
Okay.
James Cook, 12 carries, 32 yards, 2.7, 1 touchdown. His long was of 11. I thought he was good in the first half.
Yeah,
didn't see much from him in the second half. That's when we brought in Ray Davis, and he kind of started doing it. But we started throwing the ball in the second half. It was kind of nice. It's hard to run against Simmons and Sweat. That's guys a great D line,
bro. Holy shit! Like that's what I want here, guys. Like I love Ed Oliver, love Daquan Jones, but I wish we had some guys like that are just like eaters, man, body eaters, man. Pretty much, those dudes are like eating players up like Oreos, bro. Those guys are huge. Like that guy's Sweat, bro, is a monster, bro. Like that dude's gonna clog up any lane. You are not going his way, and you're not going very far.
He's not much of a pass rusher, but
he's like a wall. Yeah,
he is.
He's like a wall. There is no running in between. You're gonna hit a wall, and you're not going anywhere. Plain and simple.
Yep. The Bills have 3 sneaky dynamic receivers. They do. And then we so let's go. Keon Coleman, 4 for 125.
Beautiful.
He almost pulled in that catch for the touchdown.
Yep. Y'all want to cool it down? Y'all want to cool it down about the Worthy talk now? Because by the way, he's way over on the receiving yards now than Worthy. Just a heads up.
Worthy hasn't played yet today, so we'll wait.
No, but I was wrong last week when we talked about the receiving yards. Coleman was actually at 206 to his 176. So I'm just saying we'll see what Worthy does today. But right now he's up like 150.
It's not a major thing. Like Coleman's a good receiver, and getting Cooper changes everything. They can no longer
absolutely.
Double. And let's also call it. We were playing against backup DBs today. Their starters weren't out there.
Yeah, that is true too. Yep.
So we'll also pump the brakes on that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Oh God, Spin, you're right. Brown's block on that little bubble screen. He got 2 guys in that one bubble screen and pancaked one dude, just pushed him over, and then pancaked the second dude. It was awesome. Mari 4 for 66 and a touchdown. He had 5 targets and he had 1 drop. His first one was a drop. But then he was 4 for 66, and he made that sick ass behind him catch where Josh thought he was going to sit and he didn't. He kept going. Yep. He rushed it a little bit. It was a great catch. Those are the ones that have been dropped in the past. Amari caught it.
Yeah. Yep.
Khalil 7 for 65. I thought he came on in the second half. Kincaid 3 for 52. We got him downfield for the first time. He had 6 targets, but 3 of them were in the first half, and they were just uncatchable.
Yeah.
Ray Davis 1 for 6, Knox 1 for 5. He had 3 targets, and they really robbed him of a PI in the end zone. He's scoring that touchdown if they don't grab him. And there's no call.
Matter of fact, they should have called the pass interference on Coleman.
Yeah, when
his jersey being grabbed.
Yep. They didn't call that shit against them.
That's craziness. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. But our guys were getting called left and right. That's what was so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, some were warranted.
Listen, I'm not gonna. Yeah, some of them were warranted. I'm not gonna, shit on the rest.
So that's it by the receivers, by the way, because nobody else did
Johnson
anything.
Was 1 for 4.
Yeah,
which was a touchdown. It was a perfect little.
It was
simple, executed perfectly,
effective.
Route. They took everybody away, left 1-on-1. Johnson found the the hole, and Allen hit him for the touchdown.
You know what I like a lot right here in the stat sheet? Matt Collins only getting 1 target.
Fuck yes. Although he had a lot of snaps, and I don't want to see him anymore.
No, I don't either. But at least that part of it, I'm totally fine with. You know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah, Jay. No picks, 7 games in a row. Yeah, that's 7 straight games. Incomplete pass to Worthy as you guys are speaking about this.
There you go.
Got to give the Knox thing a break. He's a sub at this point. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to kill Knox. It's not Knox's fault he's not part of the game plan. But we also have 5 guys above him who should be featured before him. It's the contract that's the issue. But at this point, there's nothing we can do about that. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
The refs loved hearing themselves talk. Says the challenge flag was.
Oh, that was bullshit, by the way.
Yeah,
that was crap.
Matter of fact, they called that. The booth called it. Said that's not the thing. That's not the rule.
Right. They were just being nice, I guess, apparently. But that's bullshit. Like, dude. Luckily, it went our way in a way because they really they didn't get a timeout burnt because technically, I guess whatever. But no, man. Like, if that's the rule, okay, then go by the rule you made. Don't fucking change it on the fly because you felt bad. You know what? We saw it there. It was in there. We're just gonna go. I know it's supposed to.
Did you see that Texas game yesterday? The Texas Georgia game? They reversed the call on the field because
I missed that.
Oh God,
wow.
It was bad. Yeah. Roy says, I don't think it was PI on Knox. They were both battling. No. Gene Steratore, who comes on, talked about it and said he hooked him early and then he grabbed his arm again to slow him down. So he said it should have been thrown as a PI. Cooper impacted this game. Yes, Scott. Absolutely.
By the way, pre-game, Scott almost nailed it, Mikey, because he said Cooper will have the first touchdown. He was close. He had the second.
He did.
I said he would have 70 yards. I was very close. And a touchdown.
First passing touchdown.
First passing touchdown, correct. But he had to.
That's what I meant.
The second touchdown. I think, oh, so then you were right. So I had 70 yards and a touchdown. I also had a 34-13 was my score prediction. So I was really close, 34-10.
Yeah, I had it 27-16.
So you're close too.
I gave them. I didn't give us enough credit and gave them too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Which is fine. I'd rather underscore it than overscore it. Scott says we have a first sack. Not always, because last week we came out on fire. It's usually against the teams that we're supposed to beat. We come out flat.
It is weird.
You know. Like that whole Baltimore game was, I just wrapped that up to, it was a bad day. But even the Houston game, we came out flat, and then we started picking it up in the second half. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it wasn't a touchdown, Scott. Like I'm always fair and honest about stuff like that. He bobbled
his
it.
Feet were in, but he bobbled it, which caused,
Right.
So by the time he actually got a hold of it, he could only get 1 foot.
1 foot. Right. Exactly.
Otherwise, if he would have just secured it, but he was also trying to do it one-handed while the guy was grabbing at it.
But that was, and that almost could have been close to PI.
Yeah.
That was a great, I don't even fault him that, because that was that. First of all, that was tough. He had a guy draped all over him, and I think he had to make a one-handed catch because of that, and he almost pulled it in. That was just a tough. It was tough break.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I thought Hamlin was close at halftime to getting pulled because he was struggling. And then the second half, he was like, "Oops, the right spot, right time, made the catch," and it's just like
it was almost pinned against him. The ball,
yeah.
He really didn't even almost make the catch. It was just the way it worked out. I give him. Listen, I still love when he makes a play like that because of obviously everything he went through. But yeah, there needs to be a change, and I don't think it will be because of stuff like that. Interception. You know what I mean? I just don't see it happening.
I think the refs got scared. Texas fans were throwing bottles and shit onto the field. Like it was bad. Then they went back and read. And honestly, it wasn't PI. Like when they called it, it was a bad call.
And Georgia did wind up winning that game, right?
Yeah. But they had already made the call and moved the ball, and then they went back and reversed it after the delay.
Okay.
Like you can't.
By the way, real quick before we move on, let me give you some scores around the league. So. Games that gone final. Bengals beat the Browns, so I think they won 2 in a row now. 21-14. The Jaguars beat the Patriots.
Speaking of the Browns, they lost Watson.
Yeah, Watson with the Achilles. I think I texted you that during the game.
Yeah,
so not that that's a major loss to them. It just goes to show you it's better for them. But it goes to show you though that contract's, because this is his 3rd year in a row being hurt, I believe, right? Watson or second? Third. Okay. So Jaguars won 32-16. The Seahawks.
Oh, wait, he was suspended the first year. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm sorry. I was thinking he hadn't played for 3 years, so my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I forgot he was suspended the first year, so it's 2.
Okay, that's all right. Where was I? The Seahawks upset the Falcons 34-14. So that is an upset. Seahawks are sneaky. Yes, Falcons are a better team at home. They should have won that game.
Okay.
The Seahawks are not. They're not. I'm not saying they're bad. But the Falcons at home I think have a better overall squad. They should have won. But either way, the Seahawks. I think they are a sneaky good, sneaky team. They could be good and bad at times, right? So anyways, the Bills obviously beat the Titans 34-10. Packers beat the Texans 24-22. And is this an upset? I don't know. Colts beat the Dolphins, Mikey, 16-10 in Indy. How I had this game before I go on with the rest of the scores. I said in the AFC shakedown, it would be 13-10 one way. It would either be 13-10 Colts or 13-10 Dolphins, depending on who the Colts start at quarterback. And they started Richardson today. I thought that was a mistake. So I would have had the Dolphins winning because I thought Flacco gives them. And Richardson kind of had a bad game. He didn't have the greatest game in the world. I may have to go look at his stats again, but they wound up winning. And I think that's it for the Miami Dolphins. I think their coach gets fired, bro. I don't know. He just
signed a new deal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Who cares about new deals? There's coaches getting fired all the time.
They're not going to fire him. They're going to.
Wow, I would be shocked.
They're going to chalk it up that they lost Tua. Watch.
I guess. I think Greer needs to go. I think their head coach needs to go, in my opinion. But anyways, that's how I see it. Lions.
Anthony Richardson. Before you move on, Anthony Richardson, 10 of 24, 129, 14 carries, 56 yards.
Yeah, not the greatest. I think, like I said, Flacco would have done better. He would have gave him an even better chance, in my opinion.
He's a better thrower.
He's a better thrower. Yeah, I get that. You got the running aspect of it, right? Flacco's not that, but I think throwing wise, he would have done a better job. But either way, they got the job done. They won. So Miami, Miami, I think that's it for their season, in my opinion. Even when Tua comes back, that's a real tough Now they're what, 4.5 games back of the East.
Well, they're 2-4.
Yeah, that's not a great start.
Yeah, they're 2-4.
They still have a chance. I'm not saying they're mathematically out, but
yeah, they're 2.5 back.
No, I thought there were more. There were 3.5 last week.
So we are what? We're 5-2.
Yeah.
They're 2-4.
But I thought there were 3.5 last week. Okay,
no, because they were on a bye. They already had the bye.
Because I thought we were 2.5 up on the Jets.
We were
right,
and we were 1.5.
Okay, so we're only 3.5 now. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No need to be sorry. I just wanted to let you know where this, because they had their bye early.
Okay. I thought we were up. I could swear we were up 3.5, but if you're looking at, I forgot they had the bye. Yeah. All right. Where was the rest of the scores? Mikey correcting me all the time here. Eagles won 28.
Giving you the heads
Mikey won. Eagles. You got me all twisted up. I said Mikey won 28-3. Eagles won 28-3. 20. And the Lions, by the way, is that an upset? I don't think so. I mean, I thought it was there are two really good teams. They won 31-29 over the Vikings. So in Minnesota.
I thought that was going to be a good game.
I did too. I think it was. I was going to say it's going to come down to the wire with that game. They're two really, really good teams. And I'll tell you what, losing Hutchinson hurts them a lot.
Yeah,
like that really hurts them a lot. They need to, and I think they will. I'll be honest with you. I think they're going to be targeting a edge in the trade deadline. They may make a splash move. Yeah, it's nothing new, but they'll still wind up winning.
Mm-hmm. Right. So let his interceptions climb in double digits and see if the media will bring up that Mahomes has an interception problem. They're going to say he needs more weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So Allen has no interceptions, and
zero.
Mahomes has an interception in every game this season, and one with 2. The narrative will be the same. They were talking about Mahomes is the MVP favorite right now. How? Because he's 5-0. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I
don't agree.
Like
with
really,
that.
Derrick Henry's the MVP.
Yeah, I won't even put Allen in there right now. You know what I mean? Like, like if you want to be real, as of we sit right now, I have to look at everybody, but I think Henry, is definitely up there as far as
Jackson's up there.
Yeah, you have to put Lamar. You have to be fair. Lamar's up there as well.
Stroud's probably up there. He's now 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
So there's guys that are in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Somebody's not gotten any better as a broadcaster. Bro is unlistenable. I wonder if he's going to stay broadcasting, because he just bought into the Raiders. I wonder if he's going to at the end of the year say, you know what, I don't want to do this, and go be in the front office for the Raiders.
Yeah, it may not be for him. Hey, Mr. Fulton. Look who it is. Mr. Fulton, the most interesting man in the world. What's going on, Mr. Fulton?
Do you drink those
in the world?
Dos Equis?
Dos Equis, yeah.
Dos Equis? Do you think the Bills will go after either Max Crosby or Myles Garrett? No, we don't have the money for that, Trek. Their contracts are far too big for what we'll do.
It would be, like they could afford him this year, Garrett, but his contract next year when it kicks in,
we have $2 million.
Yeah, but they would be like they could. I'm just saying. I'm with you. That's a pipe dream. I don't see it ever happen. It's such a pipe dream. I'm just saying, like, I think they could squeeze it this year, but it wouldn't make sense unless they plan on not signing Gregor Rousseau, and then they would have to really make some bold moves to free up some space for him. But he's a hell of a player. Like, don't get me wrong. If they somehow pulled it off, right, I would be all for it. But I just don't see it happening. I just don't. I see the Lions. I see the Lions going all in for him, and it wouldn't be a terrible move. I got to be honest, even though you're spending a lot of money, because you got to think about now you got him and Hutchinson when he comes back next year. Bro, that would be a dynamic as you can get on the defensive front if he went to Detroit. I mean, my God.
I don't see either one of those guys moving.
I think
Zadarius Smith from Cleveland, I can see him moving.
Yeah, I don't see
their other pass rusher.
They would, if they got rid of Garrett, they might as well move the fucking team. I mean, honestly, they are blowing that motherfucker up if they moved him. He's their best player by far. You know what I mean? There's not, like, that would be crazy.
Bills cannot get either Crosby or Gannett. Whereas all
no, it's not happening.
I think it's just that Bean said he wasn't done, and people are looking at edge rushers
the big
who are
names
out there.
I mean, can you believe he called for Kamara? Supposedly, that's not happening. But
I will say this: everybody.
He calls for. That's what I told people in pregame. He's not doing his job if he doesn't at least make the phone call and just kind of get a feel for what's going on.
Not only that, what if he talks that team into eating the salary? And he gets them for league minimum.
That's what I mean. You never. That's what I'm saying. He's still going to do his job by just testing it out. You never know, right? What a team will be willing to take on. So I don't blame him. I just don't like that move. I don't see happening either. Like at this point, with Bernard being out for who knows how long, I really thinking like a linebacker might be the way to go. I still say safety, and maybe possibly a receiver. Like we'll see. The trade deadline is what, 2 weeks away. So I think he does make a move. I don't know if it'll be a splash move, but I think he does bring somebody.
The Browns ate his contract like they did Amari's. Zadarius Smith is very much doable to fit into our thing. You know?
Yeah.
Kato comes and says, Can I say this? Look at the Packers wide receiver room, not super good, but they can run. Speed kills. They're not super technical. There's a couple guys in there that run really good routes. The other guys are just
really
some
good players, though. They got some good players, though.
They do.
Yeah, young too, by the way.
What do you think of D-Hop not playing in the second half? He played in the third quarter. Then they pulled him, and he looked mad. He looked so mad.
Yeah, I think, and the announcer said it that because of the deadline, maybe possibly something's going on with him as far as trade.
Do you see this?
Crowd
was 10 for 21 for 86
yards
in the loss.
Bad game. But that won't happen a lot. Now, listen, Allen's had some bad games too. I'm not going to shit on CJ Stroud. He's a good quarterback, bro. He's not overrated. He's not. He's a good quarterback.
I don't think he's one of the elite quarterbacks. I think he's
really he's good. But his second year.
And he's still growing. He has a chance.
What I'm saying.
I think if he continues growing the way he is, I think he'll get into it. He's very full of himself, though. I don't like him as a person.
Of course. He's from Ohio. He played for Ohio State, didn't he?
You know. Yeah, I'm just saying. Like those quarterbacks that I like, too. You know, those quarterbacks
from Ohio State. All right, boo.
Okay. How about JOK from the Browns? Oh God, I would love to get JOK. He's still on his rookie deal. He'd be doable if we needed to go get a linebacker. JOK would be fantastic. Oh God, give me him all day long. And if we lost Bernard, JOK would be perfect. The problem is JOK would have to learn the defense quickly. And that's not easy to do in McDermott's defense. Yeah,
that is true. But hey, they've brung over defense. They brung over Douglas last year. You know, he called on. So it's not. I think it's all about the player too.
Yeah.
You know how fast they can catch on or not. Clearly, the one guy. Yeah, clearly the one running back we got a few years ago.
I think I think he's gonna look, Roy. I do think Bean will look. I don't know if he's gonna pull the trigger on anymore.
Did you hear, by the way, real quick before we move on with the comments, did you hear, I know there's a lot coming in. Did you hear the commenters, and they made a great point, not even think about this, about Cooper, the Cooper trade, that our old offensive coordinator's over there.
Yeah, Ken Dorsey's over there.
Yes, and the systems are kind of a little bit similar. Yeah, so I was like, that's a great I didn't even think about that. I did not even think about that. Great point they made there. So it really wasn't such a I don't think it's going to be such a crazy difficult, transition for him. I really don't. As soon as he starts getting that playbook down more and more through these weeks that come by, I think you will see a lot better from Cooper moving forward. Also, too, shout out to our Sean over at Red, White, and Bills. He made a great point because I saw one of his podcasts the other day. He mentioned, man, getting Cooper early in a trade rather than later was screaming for that because you get him here early, he learns the trade, the playbook. This way, you're not getting him here at the deadline. You know what I mean? Later on, and it takes a little longer. Like now, we got him here early. You know what I mean? So the season goes on, and he catches on a lot quicker than getting him late. So great point by Sean over at Red, White, and Bills.
Yeah, I guess Amari in the production meetings, they were saying that he mentioned that he felt comfortable with the playbook because it was similar. And if you notice, he was in multiple spots today. He didn't just line up outside. he like the touchdown, he lined up in the slot.
Yeah.
So obviously he felt comfortable enough to be able to move multiple, in the multiple roles today.
Yeah.
Which is good. He's got to learn the terminology is the big one. Yep,
Mr. Fulton, you are right, and that's that only helps the East out more. And by the way, listen, I know it's a long season. All right, we're not even close to being done. But we we told a lot of these fans of the Jets and Dolphins to pump the brakes going into the season. That the Bills have nobody, they're going to be third from last. And I think we had the one bad game against the Ravens. We should have beaten the Texans, but we didn't. It lost us a loss. But we're still, I feel like, Mikey, that we still have a better overall ran organization, like ran football team, like coaching staff. Like for as much as I don't really care for McDermott, we do have things are in better place. Like, you know what I mean? Like we don't have a lot of dysfunction, to be honest with you, like the Dolphins do and the Jets and all these other teams that are kind of just, they got the players, but they can't put it together for some reason. And I feel like the Jets are, they have players, Mikey, but they are just dysfunctional and they reach and they do dumb shit all the time. And that's why they miss the playoffs year after year. So we'll see. It's a marathon and they got a great player in Devontae, but I'm just saying that's why I was confident that the Bills, even though we lost some players, we were still the team, in my opinion, to beat in the East, and it's kind of showing that right now, in my opinion. So.
Yep. Trek comes in and says Buffalo Joe can play the mic and JOK can play the weak side when Milano comes back and Bernard comes back. JO can play the nickel and Johnson. So you're just going to throw Dorian back to the bench? Dorian's been playing awesome.
No, Dorian has to be. Dorian, I think, was our leading
been playing fantastic.
Yeah, so he was up there for a minute.
I mean, I'm all for JOK. But if we're going to do that, either slide Dorian or JOK to the mic. You don't put Buffalo Joe in to play Mike.
You're not doing that.
Yeah.
That's not happening. I'm just throwing that out. They're probably going to put what's his name right back in there like they did when he was out the first time.
They're going right back in.
Exactly.
And then Buffalo Joe will probably be if that's saying that Bernard is out. If he misses a game, Buffalo Joe will be called up.
They could have, by the way, it could be a sprain, just a heads up, and they could have pulled him because the game seemed like he was in favor at that time of the Bills. So maybe more on the precaution side.
Yep.
Just throwing that out there. So let's wait until the injury report and see what happens at practice this week. Because if he's limited, at least, that even if he doesn't play this weekend and he's limited, I think that's a good sign that he at least went to practice one of these days. But if he doesn't show up at practice all week, Mikey, I would say he's probably going to miss a couple of weeks, in my opinion. So,
Amari's a 10-year vet and on his third team, produced everywhere. Wasn't too worried about him looking lost. Plus, he just seems like a true professional. Right? He totally is. It's just,
dude, and he had the drop. Yeah, he had the drop, came right back, and made some phenomenal catches. Boy, that move he did in the red zone. I saw. You know what's funny though? I saw that same highlight. If you go and watch like the highlights of like Bill's put out like a highlight, of Cooper. And this year, I think it was this year, he did almost the same play where he jukes to the left and cuts back to the right. He did it in
Dallas too. He's done it everywhere he's gone.
He's good. That move is sneaky good, bro.
And he has like 6 other moves off of that one.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if you watched it. I sat down and watched. It was called Talking Route Running, and it was with Kurt Warner. And they sat down when he was with Dallas, and he talks about all his different release packages and what he does to set people up and stuff. It's awesome.
Oh, okay. Right.
You're laughing.
Mr. Fulton, he says he does drink Giuseppe, so he is the most interesting man in the world. But that's only in this chat. You're the most interesting man. Only in this in Bill's coffee.
JOK would be fine in that dime linebacker defense that they like to run where they bring in a third because JOK can cover, and I'm okay with it. JOK would actually be a Milano replacement. So if we brought in JOK, we'd probably go to a 3 linebacker set, and then what do you do with Tron? So I mean, it would clutter things up some. That's all.
Yeah,
I love him. I wanted us to draft him, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Bills need an edge or a bigger DT. I don't think we're going to go edge. I would like to see us get a bigger DT, but I think they like their defensive line. I don't see us doing that.
I do too.
McDermott loves the small, quick guys for his defense.
Yeah, I hate
as much as I hate it, McDermott loves it, and I don't see him changing.
I wouldn't mind an edge. I'll be honest with you, depending how good he is, right? If he was like a guy that can actually, be, consistently get to the quarterback, but I just don't see that as a priority.
Especially with Vaughn getting ready to come back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see that as any type of priority. So, and Vaughn's coming back week 9. So, my priorities remains the same, bro. I would say safety, linebacker, those two I'd be happy with. And even a receiver. I'll be real with you. It can't hurt to add another receiver. If there's a receiver out there on a cheap, on the low, just like Cooper was, it's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Last year's contract, okay. And then you can worry about that shit at the end of the year. If you want to re-sign him, that's up to you. That's up to Brandon Beane at that time. So I'm all for it. Any of those 3 positions. And if you could pull off a couple, more than one, I'm all for it too. But I don't think you need to start going into different areas that you don't really need right now.
And don't forget, we just signed a bigger D tackle, Lelouch, and we tried him, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, and he was a big boy, but no, it didn't work. Yeah, out of Georgia, I think.
Yep. Hassan Reddick, a buck short, a day late for the Jets. Yeah, he signed. He's back. Really, Hassan Reddick's back.
Oh, he's back?
Yeah,
because of his contract, right?
Yeah. So they re-upped him to get him in the building. Here's the thing: if he didn't show up and play, he would have been, his contract wouldn't have counted for this year. He would have been a free agent next year, so he would have to go back to the Jets anyways. So he's just getting in the room because he has to be in the room. I really wonder if he's gonna like pull up short and be like, "Oh, my hamstring," and practice, and
because they won't know. They won't know. Yeah, that those, or even your back, like that stuff like that. They can't really, they can't see. Like doctors can't see that stuff.
Smoke more. I hope. I would love to see the Niners beat the Chiefs. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, one of my most hated teams, the Vikings, lost. So thank you, Detroit.
Right. That move by Vikings. Shakir on the poor linebacker, that was the best though. The guy flashbacks for a while. Oh my god. The movie put on that linebacker, I felt like that linebacker had no idea where he was going. He tried so hard. He had no chance. And you know what that tells me? That Shakir's ankle's feeling a little bit better.
A little better. Yeah, and it will start. And you got to remember too, they've been limiting him, even though he started last week or he played last week, played this week. I guarantee his snap count is lower.
It was low in the first half. It blew up in the second half because we needed him.
We did. You want to finish with the defensive stats, and then we'll go with the rest of the game. We'll get out of here.
Yep.
Okay, so here's your defensive stat. Am I in the right?
Yep, you're in the right spot. So Dorian led the team with 10 tackles. Thought he was fantastic today. 6 solo, 1 tackle for loss. Bernard, I thought Dorian and Bernard played fantastic together. They play really well off of each other. Dorian brings the wood. Milano brings the knowledge and the pass coverage. He had 8 with 6 and 2 tackles for loss. Tron Johnson had 7 with 4 solo. What the?
I blew it up for you so you can see it better.
Okay. Taylor Rapp had 7 for 4.
Sorry, I had to do that again. Go ahead.
Balin Spector had 6 with 4. Balin Spector stepped right in, and honestly, I didn't notice a drop off in the defense. Did you?
I thought he played well, but he also played against a team that isn't the greatest on offense.
I know. I'm just saying. I didn't see a drop off.
I think he plays well versus like weaker opposition. Obviously, I think he does well. Like if you saw when he was filling in for Bernard, we didn't play the best teams at that time, right? But he did his job. He handled his business. I will say this. Luckily, though, even if what's his name? If Bernard does miss some time, we have some games or winnable games here against some opponents here coming up. You know what I mean? Like I don't think, if you're gonna get hurt right now, like having a big time guy out right now, like going against Seattle, I think Spector will be okay against Miami. Now Tua will be back though. That will be interesting with him. That I will say that game, and then you got the Colts, which he should be all right. So I would say the Miami game there might be one that Spector we'll see, but we'll see how they use their tight ends as well. But I think we'll be all right if Bernard has to miss a couple games with that stretch of games coming up, Mikey.
I know you guys will get this, but are we so proud of Baz for hitting his 28, 30 yarders
and
making his 2 extra points. I think he did his job today. He gets to keep it for another week.
Right. Now, by the way, they mentioned that, I know you called it, that they had a kicking competition.
And he won.
Whoa. He beat the guy that was 50% in college. Wow.
At least he beat somebody.
Like, I was telling Mikey, I wish I was there to see that competition, because I guarantee you it wasn't the prettiest competition. There was probably field goals missed by both. He just happened to hit a couple more.
I mean, he was perfect today, and that's all you can ask for.
He was easy peasy. I'm cool with that. Yep. If you give him easy field goals, for the most part, he does make them. It's the ones that are 45 and pat, like, or 45 clutch. And plus, or clutch. You're right, or clutch, because it could be a 35, 2 seconds left, and he probably would shank it. So you're right.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
So bad.
You want to pull up the sets?
Yeah. Pull out that weird.
Nope.
Okay.
Rousseau had 5 tackles, a half a sack, and 6 QB hits. Don't tell me Rousseau didn't have a day.
Rousseau played excellent today.
Smoot had 4 with a tackle for loss and a half sack. Although I don't really think Smoot should have got the half a sack, because Rousseau did all the work. He just fell on top of him.
Yeah, he had him a little wrapped up a little bit. I mean, I guess. But I'm with you there.
Epinesa had a sack fumble, almost had an interception. I thought Epinesa played really well today.
He did.
I like where they moved.
He probably would have took it to the house too.
Yeah. He almost had an interception. Yeah, he had another QB hit. Dwayne Carter was he doesn't really show up in the stats, but man, he was a menace inside.
Yep.
At Oliver, same thing. He had a QB hit. Daquan Jones had a sack and 2 QB hits. Then Ray Ferguson had a tackle. Codrington had a tackle, and Bishop, who I thought Bishop's tackle in the second half
that was great.
Big.
Yeah,
because they put him behind the sticks to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick on that before we move on, can we talk? They never showed the replay of the Codrington return on the punt. I think it hit Ingram. Now, they never showed it. I'd have to go watch back and see that play again, but he sure acted like it hit him. You know what I mean? The way he jumped on that ball. And if it did, wow, what a heads up play by him to get that. And I was telling Mikey, we traded for him. He was the UDFA. I think Bean needs to extend him for sure. Like, I trust that dude. He has totally earned my trust since day one. Like, I don't see anything really bad in his game as far as returning punts and kickoffs. So we haven't had a good one in a while, since probably Roberts. So I think you want to keep that guy in Buffalo, so you don't have to keep playing that. And he'll probably be a cheap signing. You know what I mean? If that's all he does.
Well, so, we have him for 4 years. We have 4 years control on him.
Oh, does he? Because I thought UDFA was. I thought
UDFA is still a 4 year.
Is it still 4? Oh, then we're straight. Yeah,
and because we traded for him, we get control. So basically we have exclusive rights with him for the next 3 years.
See, I thought UDFAs don't. Okay,
so he's a 1 year deal for UDFA, but you have 4 years of control. So you have exclusive rights with him.
So you okay? I got you. So it's still technically they just got to give him the contract for the record.
Yep.
But they have the option. Okay.
Exactly.
So that's what I mean. So just pay the guy and keep him here for the reign. That's all I'm saying.
He's done a really good job. I feel I've never felt like
since Roberts
they're kicking it to him,
right?
Yeah. Like, I feel super comfortable with anything that he does.
Yeah, like I feel like he makes the right decisions.
DeMar got the pick. That was nice.
DeMar got the pick. Yep. And then there's your kick returns, 1 for 27.
Yep.
And there's your punt returns, which is fine with me. It's safe.
You get a one less first down every time for Josh is good.
Absolutely. And there's your kicking. I thought, by the way, Sam Martin was shitty today.
God. Especially after going up against Stonehouse, watching the Tennessee's punter.
Oh, bro. He was punting the shit out of it.
He's flipping field position.
Our kicker,
you saw the difference so bad today.
Absolutely, dude. Sam Martin is just listen, I don't think he's awful as like I used to say. But I just think he's getting to an age where he just can't kick it like he used to, especially in bad conditions. That's the real issue. Like, I've seen him kicking, if the weather's fine, he'll kick it
or
50.
in a dome.
Right. We're in a dome 50, 55 sometimes. But, bro, in Buffalo, he's probably your worst option at punter right now. Like, they got to I think in the offseason, him and Bass have to go. No matter what happens the remainder of the season, they got to figure that shit out. They're not made for Buffalo. Yeah. They're not made for Buffalo weather. I got to be honest.
I would like to see us use 2 of the 10 on a punter and a kicker.
Sure. It's a shitload. Get them in the 6th round, 7th round.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Yep.
There's no reason not to bring one in.
Yep. Is it too soon to say I already want them to extend Cooper? No, it's not too soon. They're not going to, but it's not too soon to say it.
It is too soon. And remember too, I think it's up to Cooper too. Like it's not just as easy as like, hey, we want you. Cooper's gonna want to be here, and you never know. He may not want to be in Buffalo because he got state tax here and all, and New York.
He has New York tax.
And New York tax. So he may not. He may just want to go and explore his options too. You know what I mean? It may not just be up to us.
Yeah, he's a veteran. You know, chances are he's not re-signing before. We can want that. Is it too soon to say we want it? No. Is it, will they do it? No, they'll be done in the offseason.
They're definitely going to wait.
I loved it based off of what the small we saw today.
I wouldn't hate it. Yeah, I'm with you. I just don't think it gets done until I think they'll explore that at the end of the season.
I'm with the available cap the Bills have. You're probably not getting you. I would agree with that, Roy. I don't think we're going to do anything else, but they could still pull 1 or 2 moves to create some funds if they really wanted to.
That's what I think. Yeah,
but they don't have many levers left to pull, but they still have a couple.
I do think there's a deal that gets done though. It may not be like something that's going to wow us, but I don't think Brandon Beane is not like I don't think Brandon Beane's going to. That's it for Brandon Beane. I do think he pulls the trigger, and I don't know if it happens. I think it happens like last year, where it's like 30 minutes to go, and he just finds somebody to bring in. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think. But who knows? Who knows?
We'll see. The small defense line is one of the reasons why the Bills get beat in the playoffs. I agree, Robert.
Absolutely. Offensive line too. Offensive line. We kind of get beat on both by more physical teams, man. It's just not our strong suit.
What's going on with Edwards? McDermott doesn't want to play him. McDermott came out and said last week, 1, he was hurt, and 2, he doesn't know the defense. Is what McDermott said.
He has to be getting pissed, bro. At this point, I don't want honestly though too. I don't want pissed off guys in the locker room. You know what I mean? I don't want guys like figure it out, man. Either play him or cut him. Give him a chance somewhere else then, or trade him if someone's willing to take him as part of a deal. When the trade deadline comes up,
let the guy go if you're not going to use.
That's what I'm saying. Move on. Then we can move somebody up from the practice squad that you like. Fucking McDermott, right? And then that's it. I'll be cool with that. At least I know he's on the team.
McDermott's doghouse is what his injury is.
Absolutely. Which a lot of players seem to.
He has the Poona Ford injury.
Right, the Poona Ford injury. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So odd, man.
Illness, my ass, Scott. His illness. He's sick of riding the bench.
Yeah.
Dorian's a keeper. I do agree. I like Dorian. Edwards is what Poona Ford was. The difference was Edwards was brought in to be a starter, and then he got hurt, so he never got a chance to practice, and he didn't come back until the start of the year, and now he doesn't even get a game. We have a second-round pick sitting on the fucking bench for DeMar Hamlin.
Right.
That is just horrible coaching.
Mm-hmm.
You spent a top-tier asset to sit a guy on the bench so you can play a guy who's been here for 3 years as a backup.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I don't get it, but that's McDermott for you guys.
Yeah. Tron Johnson was good too, minus that targeting. It was a bad play by
that was a target.
Yeah,
he definitely hit him.
He shouldn't have done that. He should have just went over the top of him.
Yeah, I know he was trying to make a play, but that was and they all. I'll be honest with you, the refs took a while to throw that. If it wasn't for the reaction of the player getting hurt like that he may not have called it because it took a while. If you notice, that flag didn't come down for a minute until he was really hurt, and then you saw the flag come out. So it was a right call. But I think if the player doesn't get hurt, I don't know if the refs call that, bro.
Yeah. Mafia wants the Vikings to do bad from here on out. Higher second round draft pick from Diggs. Yeah. I would love to see the Vikings do bad. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Bills will get both. Yeah. They need to. But damn sure. You know, the QB running into Smoot is what took down.
Who's the one guy that we have that is just playing terrible for us that we keep putting in there too?
Casey Toohill?
Toohill. My God. Can we stop putting him in the game?
I would much rather see Solomon.
Absolutely.
I would much rather see Solomon.
Bro, like, what? He is so bad, bro. He is so bad, dude. Like, I'm with you. Get Solomon in there. But I don't think he does, clearly, because he has to be seeing the tape. He's just been bad. I don't know. That's mind-boggling.
Should have had a day. He was up in school. Roy, did you not think the dude had 6 QB hits? What more do you want from the guy?
Yeah, dude. No, Roy, you're wrong there. Groot played very well today.
You know, yeah. Rudolph threw the ball into the ground, and they you know, Groot was fantastic, Roy. I don't know what you want from your guy unless you're just looking for numbers.
Yeah, no, I thought he played really, really good. Now, I would say this for the season, I think he's been inconsistent as far as getting to the quarterback, but I think he's had a typical Gregory Rousseau type of season so far. So, I mean, I don't know if he'll ever, because I was wrong. I thought he would get to the 10 sacks last year. And I don't know if he's ever going to be truly that guy where he's just getting high amount of sacks every year. Like, I don't see his game like that. I see him he's an overall good player.
He's not going to be the Myles Garrett's or the Bosa's.
No.
You know, he's not that guy.
But my thing is, I think, you know, my only big question when it comes to Groot, Mikey, is when contract comes up. Because I don't know if it's going to be interesting to see what Bean values him at. Put it that way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, because I don't want to overpay for him either, just because you drafted him. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel like you can get something better out there, then even though he's from the U, then go ahead and do it. But if the contract's fair, then yeah, I would be happy if he came back.
Yeah. Played Cooper. Thanks, Mikey. Played Cooper. Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, Cooper on the on fantasy.
I sat Jacobs today, not thinking, you know, and I guess he had a good day.
Smart decision.
I know I sat him. Wasn't a smart decision.
Oh, you sat him? Okay, I thought you played
Jacobs. No, I played Cooper. I sat Jacobs.
Jacob. Who's Jacob? Jacobs who? Who's my Jacobs?
Jacobs for Green Bay's running back.
Oh, okay. Why? He did good today? He went off?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just didn't see him doing well against that Houston defense. The Houston defense is good.
Gotcha,
they have a good run defense.
Well,
I still wish Titans DT sweat. Yeah, I wish we would have, especially considering we're not playing our second round pick.
Yep.
You know.
By the way, Chiefs are up 7-3 still early in the game. Commanders up 20-0. Howie would be happy with that. Rams are up 7-3.
I lost all. I don't know if you did, but I don't see any. You know, I don't see any chats.
I see them all.
Okay, you'll have to pull them up. It's all blank for me on my side.
Okay. Oh, weird.
Mikey, that's the only thanks you're getting Saturday.
So anything else on this game? We'll get out of here, man. We've been on here an hour, man.
I thought the first half was very sloppy and discombobulated offensively.
Yep.
I don't want to put it all on Brady. I know you were bashing Brady early. I think a lot of it was execution. Like, Brady can't make these guys stay on sides.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think I am agreeing with you at points of that. Like, you also, like, I've always been like that. Same when Ken Dorsey was here. You still got to execute, and sometimes it is a lack of execution. He can't, you can't go out there and catch the ball too. Drop passes aren't our offensive coordinator's problem. I get that. Bad route running, bad execution, penalties. I'm with you there. However, he is very predictable at times. He needs to get better at that. And I feel like sometimes the offense, when things aren't going well, he doesn't always adjust right away. takes them a little while to get that adjustment going. And that's why I really feel like we've been falling behind. And that leaves the defense on the field long, right? Like too long. That's when we start getting behind, like in 10-0. Like, I don't want to see that. He needs to learn how to adjust on the fly. He also needs to stop being so predictable, especially on first downs. Like, that is craziness to me. How many times he runs on first down between the tackles. So he needs to be a little bit better. I'm not totally sold on him, but I'm not saying he's a bad coordinator. I just got to see better. And I think that's okay. I don't think that's wrong of me to want to see better.
No, I don't think it's wrong with you. I also don't think he needs to adjust when the guys are jumping off sides. I don't think he needs to quickly make that change. What I do need to see him do is get Josh into a rhythm quicker.
But I'm going to give you an example. So, and I think it was the third quarter. That's because third or fourth. It might have been a fourth. When we went to a slant, which is rare, to Coleman.
That was a Josh check.
Right. But I'm saying, like, sometimes when the heat is coming, and it has been, we need to start playing. Like, he needs to call stuff like that to help out this offense, get the ball out of Josh's hands quick. Instead, a lot of times he's calling these long, these deep shots, or just nothing really to make it easier or more comfortable for Josh to be able to pick up. Because sometimes, bro, listen, if you're let's say 3rd and 8, you don't necessarily need to throw 10 yards. You can give it to a playmaker 6 yards, and he's going to yards after catch. I mean, that's what we do, right? Keon Coleman, great example on the slant. It would have been 5-yard catch if the guy made the tackle, but Keon Coleman spun off him and it broke it. So you got to call. I'm just saying, you got to make it a little easier at times when things aren't going how you want it to go and the offensive line isn't holding up. I'm just saying, I get penalties, I get execution, but sometimes you got to make it a little easier for your offense when they're struggling, protecting Josh Allen, stuff like that.
I don't disagree with that. I also put a little bit of that on Josh. Josh needs to check.
Absolutely.
Because that call is always there. So if Josh is reading the blitz, so Brady will give him the play, then they have checks off that play. That means maybe Josh is missing the checks as well. So
I'm with you.
I think it's a Brady Josh issue that they need to figure out together. I think that might be the better way to say it. And Josh needs to get up in Dion and all those guys' ass for getting those penalties, like the pre-snap penalties.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that, especially when you're struggling.
Kills drives. Yeah, 5 yard. Yeah, kills drives. 2nd and 5 turns on 2nd and 10. Now you're right back at it. I mean, it's like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 10. Yeah. And it's just like, dude, we just had it easy, right? 3rd and 5, makeable. Third down. Now you push us back. Like, I get it. Holding 10-yard penalty. I mean, you can't do that. So I'm with you. I am totally with you. And Josh Allen, you're right. I think he needs to. I'll tell you what, too, by the way, though, if you call, I do like when they get to the line a lot quicker and there's a lot of time left where Josh Allen could then check out of a play because it's not down to 3 seconds. So if Brady can get the play call in time, get up to the line. That's why I don't mind the up tempo, because boom, you're up to the line. If you don't like what you see, you have plenty of time to make a call another play. Do what you got to do without you rushing everything. So I kind of felt like that was a little better today, by the way, too, getting up to the line in time. If you notice, remember last week, the week before, we were getting to the line like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, rushing a play.
Just discombobulated.
This week, I thought we did a way better job of getting to the line, where I never saw a play where we were like, remember where Allen would be like, holy 3, shit, 2, like, you got to call a timeout or clunky. Like, so I will give Brady credit there. He probably was getting the play calling in a lot quicker, which will make the plays a lot smoother.
Yep. I also love Josh. I also love Josh throwing between 30 and 35 times, especially with the receivers we now have. Like, he threw 33 today. It's first time he was over 30 all year.
Jesus, man. I know.
Outside of that Texans game where he was 9 for 30.
We were thinking when the hell is he ever going to go 300-yard game, which is crazy.
And he went for 323 today.
Yeah, 323. Once again, shows you the Shows you what happens when you get a reliable receiver, a veteran receiver that knows what he's doing as on the field as well.
It came back.
Clearly that helped, guys.
Dion got completely blown up that one time.
Oh my God, that was bad.
See, the first half the D line or the O line was really bad. They weren't creating holes. They were pre-snap penalties, losing leverage on blocks. The O line was bad in the first half. They made some adjustments in the second half, and they were a lot better. I'll give them that. But with that, it's going to be Victory Monday.
Yes, thank
God.
God.
Got things to clean up. It's a McDermott special. We get the win, and it ends up turning to be a rout. We ended up routing them.
No, we wound up whooping that ass. So
34-0 stretch.
Yeah, that was a beautiful second half. First half was disgusting. But the second half was right on. So guys,
we're back tomorrow for the good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Mikey will have his good, bad, and ugly, and we'll have our other awards. We usually give some dog awards out. So tomorrow at 9. Make sure you come on tomorrow at 9. Oh, are you seeing the comments now or no?
Yeah, they pop back up. Yeah,
we got but we got, guys, sometimes it's not our fault. We got a clunky system we work with here. It's kind of like our offense for the first half. This system we use. So
really, it's Roy's fault. He got me mad. So YouTube's like, I didn't like to calm down before I let him see the comments anymore.
Right. So we'll be back tomorrow at 9. And guys, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, hit the like, and hit the notification bell. This way you know when we're live. Any last comments or anything that's in the chat before we go?
Good, bad, ugly like last week. Yes, we'll just like last week. Except now we'll actually have a Monday night show. Last week was the post game. So
way to call us out, Spin.
He always does. Such a jerk. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday football, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night.
All right, Bills Mafia, you guys rule. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here.
Bills.
We're out of here. Peace.